Well, good afternoon. This is Kent Blaylock with SDG Replays coming to you on this wet Friday afternoon as we anticipate Hurricane Ian or Storm Ian or Tropical Storm Ian or whatever he is now is going to be coming through. It's south of us right now, so we're just seeing a little bit of wind and some rain, but nothing heavy. We're expecting some within the next couple hours, so should be some heavy rain. Maybe a little bit of flooding here, but nothing where I am living that I need to worry about. Continue to remember those that took the brunt of it in Florida and how tragic it's been for them. Devastating, especially in the Fort Myers, Cape Coral area. Just sad to see. And we'll continue to pray for them. But here in North Carolina on this wet day and with being inside, we're going to do some baseball that I've been doing recently, playing with three different systems: Action PC, PC Replay, and Digital Diamond. Playing the 1956 season. We're just going to see how the season unfolds. I've got a month of games played. Well, not really a month, just closed out April. Now starting into May. And we're going to just see how the games unfold. Today's game, we're going to be using Action PC. And it's going to have the Detroit Tigers facing the Boston Red Sox. And so let me go ahead and get into the game screen. I've got to make some adjustments while we're doing this of where I am at. That will work. Move me right over here, and that should work. So you see, it is the 5-7 Detroit Tigers at the 5-6 Boston Red Sox, and so we're got two teams that are pretty much at the same spot as far as the standings. I know that the Red Sox are 5th right now in their division. And let's just take a look at both lineups. In the field for the Red Sox, in left field, got Dick Gernert, the left fielder, with a 5 rating and a arm rating of 5. Jimmy Pearsall in center field, 9 rating with an 8 arm. Jackie Jensen in right field, 7 right field rating with a 7 arm. Frank Malzone at third base with a range of 5. Don Budden playing short with a range of 6. Billy Goodman at second base with a range of 5. At first base, Norm Zauchin with a range of 2. Not very good range for Norm there. Behind the plate, Sammy White, the catcher, with an 8 range and a 7 arm. And on the mound, Frank Sullivan. In the real play in 1956, he was 14-7 with a 3.42 ERA and a 1.384 WHIP with 116 strikeouts. In this replay, he's not fared as well. He's 1-1 with a 4.68 ERA and a 1.68 WHIP, striking out 13 while walking 13, so having some control issues. Coming to the plate for your Detroit Tigers, or if you're a Detroit fan, is Bill Tuttle. Tuttle in 56 batted 253. In this replay, he's batting 222. So let's go ahead and get into this game as these two teams face off. It is weather today. The temperature is 61 degrees. Wind at 6 miles an hour out to right field, and there is light rain. So Sullivan on the mound. Here's the pitch to Tuttle. Hits it sharply back up the middle to Pearsall in center field. So a leadoff single by Tuttle as he's safely on first. Bill Tuttle. That brings up Earl Torgenson, batted 264 in the 56 season, but in this replay he's batting 317 with 3 home runs and 11 RBIs in these 12 games that they have played. Torgenson, Tuttle has a run of 7, a jump of 1. I don't believe they'll be running, so we're just going to pitch. Here's the pitch. Torgenson bounces it to Budding at short. Tosses over to Goodman at second, and they'll get the lead runner, but Torgenson will make it safely to first. So it was forced out at second for 1 out, but a runner on first in Torgenson as Al Kaline comes to the plate. Kaline in the season in 56 batted 314. In the replays at 220. He did have 27 home runs in 56. So far 3 in this replay. Here's the pitch to Kaline. It's lifted into left field. Gernert with it. Makes the catch. Squeezes it for out number 2 on the long put out. Torgenson will hold up at first as Harvey Kuhn comes to the plate. Kuhn batted 332 in the 56 season with 12 home runs. In this replay, he's been swinging a hot bat. He's batting 431 with 8 RBIs. So Kuhn wants to continue the hot streak as Torgenson takes a slight lead off of first. Here's the pitch from Sullivan. Kuhn hits it sharply to Zouchin at first. Steps on the bag for the 3 unassisted. And no runs on 1 hit and no errors. And we go to the bottom of the first, scoreless here in Boston. And coming to the plate, Billy Goodman. But let's take a look at the fielders for Detroit. In left field, Charlie Maxwell with a range of 8 and an arm of 6. Bill Tuttle in center field with a range of 8, arm of 7. Al Kaline in right field with a range of 10 and arm of 9. At third base, Ray Boone with a range of 5. Harvey Kuhn at short with a range of 6. Reno Bertoa, second baseman, with a range of 5. Earl Torgenson at first with a range of 6. Behind the plate, Frank House, range of 6, arm of 6. And on the mound, Duke Moss. Moss in the 56 season, 0 wins, 7 losses with a 6.54 ERA and a 1.784 whip. So this is a good opportunity for Boston as they got a pitcher that did not fare too well. Not much better in the replay as he's at a 5.14 ERA. He's almost 1.5 runs better in the replay. That's not saying much though, with a 1.429 whip. So to the plate, Billy Goodman, who batted 293 in 1956. In the replay, he's at 349 with 7 RBIs. Leadoff hitter Goodman steps in. Here's the pitch from Moss. Hit sharply into right field. To the wall, past Kaline, and Goodman is racing towards third as it's a leadoff triple for Goodman. as it gets to the wall and just past K-line. So it's a lead-off triple for Billy Goodman as Frank Malzone comes to the plate with Goodman 90 feet for the first run. Malzone has been struggling. He struggled in the reel at a 1.65, but also in this replay of he's not even at 100. He's .095. So not a very strong bat from Malzone as Moss glances over at Goodman. Here's the pitch to Malzone. Lifts it into left field. Maxwell chasing as it drifts foul into the stands. Souvenir for someone from Smyre, North Carolina. And I know you have no idea where Smyre, North Carolina is. Here's the pitch from Moss. Malzone swinging. Hit to Kuhn at short. Kuhn. Send Goodman home? Yes, he's got an 87% chance. Goodman heads home. Kuhn's only play is to first. Torgenson squeezes it for out number one, but Goodman will score, and that is a RBI scoring ground ball for Malzone. Jackie Jensen comes to the plate. Jensen in the 56th season batted .315. In the replay, he's batting .270. As Moss gets the signal from House, here is the pitch. Hit sharply to Bertoy at short, up with it easily. At second, for the 4-3 put out. Yeah, that's second base on the right side of the diamond. As that is out number two down, as Dick Gernert comes to the plate. Gernert in the 56th season batted .291. He's just at 190 so far early in the season here. As Moss goes into his windup, here's the pitch. Gernert lifts it into left field. Maxwell on his bicycle, drifting to his left, but that's hit hard, that's hit long, that's hit deep, and it is gone over the monster, as all Maxwell could do is watch it go over the fence, as Dick Gernert is now safely at home, and it's a 2-0 Red Sox lead. So, first baseman Norm Zouchin up after the 314-foot shot by Gernert. It's a 2-0 game. 2 down. Zouchin at the plate. Here's the pitch from Moss. Lifts this one into center field. Tuttle racing forward for it. He will make the play, and that will be the end of the first, but 2 runs, 2 hits, no errors, and after one, we have Boston 2, Detroit 0. Stepping to the plate for the Detroit Tigers, Ray Boone. Boone in 56 batted .308. In the replay, he's at .295, so he's living up to his potential as Sullivan gets the signal from White. Here is the pitch to Boone. Boone lifts one into center field. Pearsall moving to his left. It's hit deep, and it is gone as he watches it fly out of the ballpark as Boone makes the round trip. It's a leadoff home run of 398 feet for Boone. And we have a 2-1 ball game here now as Frank House comes to the plate. House batted .240 in 1956 with 10 home runs. He's batting .225 here in this replay as Sullivan kicks the mound, toes the rubber. Here comes the pitch. Hit sharply to Goodman at second. Up with it over to Zouchin for the 4-3 putout. And out number one. That brings up left fielder Charlie Maxwell. Maxwell in 56 batted .326 with 28 home runs. In this replay, he's batting .371 with 2 home runs and 10 RBIs. Here's the pitch to Maxwell. Hit sharply into left field. Gernert up with it quickly into Budden. Malzone did not range well on that one as it gets between third and short. And we have a runner on in Maxwell at first with Reno Bertoa coming to the plate. Bertoa batted 182 in 56. In this replay, he's at 174. So Bertoa does not swing a very good bat. I'm going to bring the infield halfway for double play depth. Here's a pitch to Bertoa. He lifts it into center field. Pearsall makes the play easily. Canna corned. Fires it back into Budden at short. 2 down, and Duke Moss coming to the plate. And they will be pitching to Moss. Moss steps in, squares, hits sharply to Budden, who just tosses over to Goodman, covering the bag on the 6-4 putout. So 1 run on 2 hits and no errors. We go to the bottom of the second. Boston 2, Detroit 1, and Jimmy Pearsall coming to the plate. Pearsall batted 293 in 1956 with 14 home runs, 87 RBIs. In this replay, he's batting 300. Yet to go yard, but he does have 5 RBIs. Moss gets the signal from House. Here is the pitch. Pearsall hits it sharply up the middle, gets into center field to Tuttle. Kuhn lets that one get by him. So a failed play by Kuhn, who does not break well off the sharply hit ground ball. And we have a runner on first and Pearsall. And Don Budden coming to the plate, batted 239 in 56. In this replay, he's at 306. So Budden steps in. Moss fires, strikes him out. That's the first K for Moss, as he got him on the fastball on the Parmesan pellet. As Sammy White, the catcher, comes to the plate, batted 245 in 1956. In this replay, he's at 163. House gives the signal to Moss. Moss glances over at Pearsall, goes into his windup. Here's the pitch. Popped up. House ranging back. Looks like it may be out of play. And it's into the crowd. Someone from Kaiser, North Carolina, picked it up. Going into some obscure cities in North Carolina. Look them up. Kaiser, North Carolina. They call it Kaiser, spelled like Caesar. Well, I think the E's missing. I'm not sure, though. It is Kaiser, though. But that's North Carolina pronunciations. We have a city in North Carolina that people call, it's spelled Cherryville, but here in North Carolina, it's terrible. So there you go. Sammy White steps back into the box. Moss toes the rubber. Here's the pitch. White hits it sharply into left field. Maxwell breaks well on it, lays out and hauls it in as he scoops it off the turf for out number 2. Great play by Maxwell in left field. And that'll bring up Frank Sullivan, the pitcher, with 2 outs. Batted 141 in 56. In this replay, he's at 182, so he'll be swinging away. He does have an RBI. So here's the pitch to Sullivan. Sullivan hits it to Bertoa at second, tosses it to Kuhn for the 4-6 putout, and out number 3. So no runs on 1 hit and no errors. And after 2, we go to the third. Boston 2, Detroit 1. Sullivan looking at Tuttle as we face the top of the lineup. Second time through, as Tuttle steps up. Line to single up the middle his first time up. Here is the pitch from Sullivan. Strikes him out on the Bree bullet. That's Sullivan's first strikeout as Earl Torgenson now steps to the plate. Torgenson grounded to short, forcing Tuttle at second. Here's the pitch to Torgenson. Sullivan winds and deals. It's bounced to first. Zouchin plays it easily with the 3 unassisted as he steps on the bag. That'll bring up Al Kaline. Kaline flied to left his first time up. Here is the pitch. Bouncer back to Sullivan. Quick 3 up and 3 down as he retires the side. No runs, no hits, no errors, and we go to the bottom of the third. Boston 2, Detroit 1. Well, the weather is starting to pick up here in North Carolina. Rain's starting to come down, a little bit more wind. Ian's getting ready to show up. As Billy Goodman steps to the plate, and we know what Goodman did when he led off. He lined a triple down the right field line. Goodman steps in. Moss. Signal from House. Here's the pitch. And he strikes him out on the Rockford Rocket. Roquefort Rocket, excuse me. That's strikeout number 2 for Moss. And if anybody who's listening can tell me where I'm getting these fastball references from, you are a true fan of sports movies. Frank Malzone to the plate, batting .091. He grounded to short, scoring Goodman in the first. Here is the pitch to Malzone, and he hits it back to the mound. Moss ranges to his left, fields it, fires it to Torgenson for the 1-3 put out, and out number 2. That'll bring up Jackie Jensen, right fielder, grounded to second his first time up. Moss into the windup. His pitch. It's lifted into left field. It is hit high. It is hit deep. Will it? No, it just gets to the warning track. Just a long out. No runs, no hits, no errors. 3 are in the books here in Boston. Boston 2, Detroit 1. Harvey Kuhn to the plate. Kuhn's got a 12-game hitting streak going, and he grounded to first his first time up. As Sullivan gets the signal from White, here is the pitch. It's hit sharply into left field, bounces in front of Gernert for a leadoff single, and that's 13 games now for Kuhn, as Ray Boone now steps to the plate. Boone 1 for 1 on the day, hit a solo home run to right center his first time up. Here's the pitch to Boone, and he walks him. He walks Boone. Boone gets the free pass. High and outside, 3-0 count. Couldn't get the ball over. So Sullivan's in a little bind here, as we're going to bring the infield in to halfway for House. House grounded to second his first time up. Here is the pitch. And another walk. He's juiced the bases. They're going to again play double play depth to try to turn 2, and will concede the run since they are in the lead. Kuhn on third, Boone at second, House on first. Here's the pitch to Maxwell. Catcher interference on the play. Maxwell gets first base. Kuhn scores. And how does that happen? How does Sammy White interfere in the play? So we're knotted up 2 on catcher interference. Bases still loaded. Infield will come in halfway. trying to turn two. Here's the pitch to Bertoa. It's a slow roller to Budden. As they get it to Goodman, they will get the lead runner, but no double play, and Boone will score. And that is out number one. Pitcher is up. We're going to play for the bunt. As Moss is not a good hitter. Sullivan with runners on the corners in Bertoa and House. Here's the pitch from Sullivan. Moss does lay down the bunt. House coming in. They will get Budden. Oh, and there is an error. It goes into left field. It is a throwing error on Zouchin. Everyone's safe. Run comes across. Now it's 4-3 Detroit. Runners on first and second. And a costly throwing error by Zouchin on the E3. We're just going to keep them normal depth now. Here is the pitch. Hit sharply to Malzone at third. He fires over to Goodman at second. 2 first for the 5-4-3 putout. And that'll close it out on that rally-killing, soul-crushing double play, as our friend Kurt would say, Berglund. And that is 3 runs on 1 hit. 2 errors in the inning. And after 3.5, we go to the bottom of the third. Detroit 4, Boston 2. 2 costly errors in that inning. And we have a 4-2 Detroit lead as Dick Gernert comes to the plate. Gernert hit a solo home run down the left field line, his first time up. Here's the pitch to Gernert. He lifts one into center field. Tuttle ranging to his left makes the play for out number 1. That'll be ringing up Norm Zouchin, first baseman. Fly to shallow center his first time up. Moss into his windup, and the pitch feeling a little bit better now that he has a 2-run lead. The ball is hit sharply into right field, bounces in front of K-line, and Zouchin has a 1-out single as Jimmy Pearsall heads to the plate. Pearsall grounded a single up the middle his first time up. Pearsall gets the signal from his third base coach. Hit away as Moss goes into the windup. It's a slow bounder toward Kuhn at short. Fires it over to Torgenson. Could not make the play at second. Zouchin will be safe at second. But they get Pearsall at first on the 6-3 putout. So runner in scoring position as Don Budden comes to the plate. He struck out his first time up. Here's the pitch to Budden. Zouchin moving. Oh, he walked him. Budden gets the free pass as Moss, with a 3-2 count, was down and inside, and free ride for Budden. Runners on first and second for Sammy White. White lined to left center his first time up. Here is the pitch to Sammy White. Slow roller to Boone at third. Boone up with it, fires to first. And White is out. He got him by a half step as Boone fired it over to first on the 5-3 putout to close out the inning. No runs on 1 hit and no errors. And we go to the 5th. Detroit 4, Boston 2. So here we are in the 5th. 4-2 Detroit after 2 costly errors by the Red Sox in inning number 4 that allowed 3 runs to come across for a 4-2 Detroit lead. Coming to the plate for the Tigers is Earl Torgenson. 0 for 2 on the day. as Sullivan goes into his windup. Here is the pitch to Torgenson. Torgenson swings, lifts one, popped up to second. It's way up there. Budden calls for it and makes the play. That brings up Al Kaline, who's 0 for 2 on the day. Bunted to the pitcher his last time up. Didn't expect that, but Sullivan made the play as Kaline steps up. Here is the pitch. Hit sharply to Malzone at third. Malzone up with it, fires it over to first for the 5-3 putout. And out number 2. 2 up and 2 down as Harvey Kuhn steps to the plate. Kuhn 1 for 2 on the day, single to left his last time up to extend his hitting streak to 13 games. Here's the pitch to Harvey. And he hits it sharply up the middle. Another base hit by Harvey Kuhn, who's hitting the ball well, batting .311 in this, that's Boone. Kuhn in this replay, .444. He has a hot bat. You got to be careful with him. As Sullivan with a runner on, 2 outs. Boone stepping up. Here's the pitch to Boone. And Boone rips one to the wall in center field. Pearsall plays it off the wall, and Kuhn will score all the way from first. And it's 5-2 Detroit on a RBI scoring double by Boone, as Detroit extends its lead to 5-2. That'll bring Frank House to the plate, who walked in the 4th. Here's the pitch to House. Sullivan into his windup. And it's hit into center field. Ground ball through the infield to Pearsall, and Boone will score. RBI scoring single. No throw from Pearsall, and it is now 6-2. And Sullivan is looking shaky. Just want to get him out of this inning. With 2 outs, runner on first. Maxwell to the plate. Maxwell awarded first on catcher interference his last time up. Here's the pitch to Maxwell. White counseling his pitcher. Here's the delivery. And it's hit sharply at Goodman, but he over his head into right field. Jensen comes up, but that will move House to third, and Sullivan is struggling, but we got the light hitting Bertoa up, so we will keep him in, give him one more chance to close out the inning. Here's the pitch to Bertoa, and he strikes him out for strikeout number 2, and Sullivan, I should have went ahead and pulled him since he was the next batter up. It's this poor managing on me. That's on me. I should have just went ahead and yanked him since he was going to be the next batter up, but I wasn't paying attention. I think Sullivan's seen his better days. He's going to come out against the righty. We'll bring Mickey Vernon in to pinch hit. Sullivan's day is over after allowing 6 runs. I don't think all of them were earned. We'll have to look at. Matter of fact, I know they weren't. Mickey Vernon to the plate, batted .310 in 56. He's batting .535 in this replay with a home run and 14 RBIs. Here's the pitch to Vernon. He hits one sharply deep into right field. It is going back, and he takes Kaline to the wall, and it's off the wall over Kaline's head for a stand-up double for Mickey Vernon with a pinch hit double. And that'll bring up Billy Goodman. Struck out his last time up and tripled in the first. Vernon on second. Goodman. Here is the pitch. He lifts one lazy fly ball into center field. Bertoa ranging back, but it will be Tuttle who makes the play. And Vernon moves to third. So sacrifice fly, if I can spit that out, sacrifice fly for Goodman moves Vernon over to third with one out. And Frank Malzone to the plate. Malzone, pitiful hitter, 087 in this replay. I'm almost trailing 4 runs. I might see who I can bring in for Malzone. Billy Klaus could come in. Let's bring Klaus in. He can play third. Has a better bat than Malzone. I imagine his defense is not the best. But we're trailing by 4 runs. So Klaus steps in. Here's the pitch from Moss. Klaus hits it sharply into left field, and he will score Vernon. So Klaus comes in and does the job, gets the pinch hit RBI, and he will move to second. On a bobbled E7 by Maxwell. He bobbles the ball trying to get it back in, and Klaus will get to single and move to second on the E7 by Maxwell. And we have a 6-3 ball game now as Jackie Jensen steps to the plate, batting .256 in this replay. Klaus on second, 1 out. Here's the pitch to Jensen. It's hit too short. Harvey Kuhn up with it over to first for the 6-3 putout, but that will move Klaus over to third. And we have a runner on third with Dick Gernert coming to the plate. Gernert flied to right center his last time up, homered his first time up. Here is the pitch to Gernert. House comes out, gives a few pointers to Moss. Moss with the delivery. It's hit sharply by Gernert into left field, through the infield, past Boone, who could not make the play. That range of 5 done him in, and he hung a curveball that Gernert grounded between third and short, and Klaus will score. Now it's a 6-4 ball game, and Boston is climbing back in this game in the bottom of the 5th as Moss looks at Zauchen, who's 1 for 2 on the day, singled his last time up. Gernert on first, 2 outs. Moss with the pitch. Zauchen gets the free pass. He walks him. Moss kicks the dirt as he was high with that fastball. And now runners on first and second for Jimmy Pearsall. Here's the pitch. Pearsall hits it to Kuhn at short. Fires it over to first for the 6-3 putout. And 2 runs on 3 hits and 1 error. And after 5, we go to the 6. Detroit 6, Boston 4. And the pitcher, Duke Moss, coming to the plate. And I need to put some players on the field. Milt Bowling coming in at third. And who do I want to pitch? Well, let's bring in a right-hander. Don't want to pitch D-Lock. His next start's May the 5th. Dave Sisler. And Dave Sisler to pitch. With Moss at the plate. He will hit. He lifts one into center field. Pearsall on his bicycle runs in and gets it for out number 1. Bowling is just a 3 at third, so if anything's hit sharply over there, he probably will not make the play. As Tuttle steps in, 1 for 3 on the day. Here's the pitch from Sisler. Another ball lifted into center field. Pearsall ranging over to right center and makes the play. 2 up, 2 down. Gannett going. Del Monte has 2 up, 2 down, and Torgenson to the plate. Earl Torgenson, first baseman. Here's the pitch from Sisler. And he'll walk Torgenson. Torgenson gets the free pass as Sisler shrugs his shoulder on the 3-2 pitch way outside. As Al Kaline now comes to the plate. He's 0 for 3 on the day. Grounded to third his last time up. Kaline, the dangerous Kaline, with 27 home runs in 56. Here is the pitch from Sisler. And it's hit sharply. It's ouching at first. He makes the play easily. Steps on the bag for the 3 unassisted. And no runs, no hits, and no errors. And we go to the bottom of the 6th with Detroit 6, Boston 4. And Moss on the mound. He's in the red with 105 pitches. Don Budding coming to the plate. Moss with the pitch. Hit sharply back to Moss. He makes the play over to Torgenson for the 1-3 putout. And out number 1. And that'll bring up Sammy White. White grounded to third his last time up. 0 for 2 on the day. Here's the pitch to White. He lifts one into right field. Al Kaline moving toward center field. Makes the catch. And that'll be all, as Al Aber is now pitching for Detroit to face Milt Bowling, the third baseman. New pitcher. Al Aber, the lefty, had a 3.43 ERA with a 4-4 record and 21 strikeouts and 7 saves. Here is the pitch to Bowling. Hit sharply by Bowling at Torgenson. Torgenson fields it easily. Steps on the bag, 3 unassisted. And no runs, no hits, and no errors. And we go to the 7th. Detroit 6 and Boston 4. And Harvey Kuhn, the hot-hitting Kuhn, batting .444. It's 2 for 3 on the day. And Sisler staring down Kuhn as Kuhn steps in. Here's the pitch. And he hits another one into right field. Another ground ball hit sharply between first and second. And Kuhn is on a 3 for 4 day as he took that fastball into right field. And that brings up Ray Boone, who's 2 for 2 on the day. Doubled off the wall in left center his last time up. Sisler glances over at Kuhn on first. Kuhn off the bag. Sisler into his windup. The pitch. It's hit and lifted into shallow center field. Pearsall on his bicycle makes the play. Tosses it into the shortstop button, and that's 1 down. And Frank House stepping to the plate. Here's the pitch from Sisler. Oh, and it looks like he beamed House, or was that a walk? Way inside, and it hit him on the knee, and House trots down to first, rubbing his knee and giving this mean mug to Sisler as he makes his way to first. So 1 out, runners on first and second. And the infield looking to turn 2 will go halfway. And here's the pitch to Maxwell, who's 2 for 2 on the day. Sisler into his windup, the pitch. And it's a shallow fly ball. He pops it up to shallow center. Pearsall had to sprint in to get that one off the carpet or off the grass. Sinking shallow fly ball. That brings up Reno Bertoa, 0 for 3 on the day. Here's the pitch to Bertoa. Runners on first and second. Bertoa, Pearsall getting his exercise in as he races and runs that one down. So no runs on 1 hit and no errors. And we go to the bottom of the 7th. Detroit 6, Boston 4. And Billy Goodman to the plate. Goodman 1 for 3 on the day. As Aber is still in the 7th. Here's the pitch from Aber to Goodman. It's hit to Torgenson at first. Torgenson makes the play, fields it, steps on the bag for the 3 unassisted, and Sisler steps to the plate. And Sisler will say, "See you later." As he steps up, we bring a right-handed pitch hitter in, and we'll bring in Pete Daly. Pitch hit. Daly steps in. Aber goes into his windup. Here's the pitch to Daly. And he hits one into center field. It gets over the head of Kewen, and it's a blooper into left center. Base hit. And Daly comes in and gets the job done pinch hitting. The pinch hitters for Cleveland. We're not in Cleveland, we're in Boston. Boston have come through for the team today as Jackie Jensen steps up 0 for 3 on the day. You'd have to think he's due. Here's the pitch to Jensen. And he hits one into left field between short and third. Another sharply hit ball between the 5 and 6 spot. And we have runners now on first and second with 2 outs. And Dick Gernert, who has homered in this game, is 2 for 3. As Aber stares down Gernert. Here is the pitch. Hal says, "Be careful," as he goes out to the mound. Aber with the pitch. And he strikes him out. He must have whispered something in his ear that worked. So that's 2 down. A much needed strike from Aber, as now runners on first and second for Norm Zouchin, who is 214 in the regular 56 season, but he's batting .500 here in this replay. But he's only had 4 at-bats, so he's 2 for 4. Here's the pitch to Zouchin. And that's hit sharply, but it's fielded. Oh, I didn't know what was going on there. They fired over to House, fired over to first to try to get Jensen off the bag, but he gets back safely. So Zouchin is still on as Jensen. They're trying to keep him close to the bag. Zouchin steps in. Aber goes into his windup. Here's the pitch. And it's hit slowly back to Aber. Easy play over Torgenson for the 1-3 put out. And we go to the 8th. Detroit 6. Boston 4. And I need a new pitcher. I think I'll go with the best pitcher available. And that'll be Frank Baumann. Don't suspect Aber will be hitting. He will not. Jack Phillips is now batting for Detroit. Phillips batted .295 in 56, or 224 plate appearances. So far in this replay, he's batting .333 with 6 plate appearances. Bauman goes into his windup. Here is the pitch. Phillips lifts it into left field. It's hit deep, garnered back, and he makes the play on the warning track. And that's just a long out as Tuttle comes to the plate. 1 for 4 on the day. Bauman into windup as he gets the signal from White. And it's hit sharply into left field as it gets between Goodman and Zouchin for a 1-out single. So Tuttle safely on first as Torgenson comes to the plate. 0 for 3 on the day. And we'll bring the infield in halfway. And here is the pitch. And he walks him. Runners on first and second as Bauman is again getting a bit wild, and that brings Al Kaline up, who's 0 for 4 on the day. You have to think Kaline's going to come out of this slump at the most opportune time. And he walks Kaline. He loads the bases. So we're going to have to go double play depth, try to turn 2 to get out of this inning. Can he get Kuhn, the hot-hitting Kuhn, who's batting .455, to ground into a double play? We will see. Here's the pitch to Kuhn. He does hit it sharply into left field, scoring Tuttle. Kuhn's 4th hit today. I shouldn't have pitched to him. Base is still loaded. We're still going to go with Bauman as Boone steps in, try to turn the double. Here's the pitch to Boone, and he walks Boone. And that's going to be it for Bauman. He come in and threw up all over himself. Let's bring in the right-handed Tom Hurd. And my bullpen is not stellar. It's the only way I know how to say it. It's now an 8-4 Detroit lead as Hurd gets his warm-up, tosses in, comes in with the bases juiced. Here is the pitch from Hurd. House hits it sharply at Goodman at short. Stabs it out of the air for the L4 putout. And that's what he needed as Maxwell comes to the plate. Charlie Maxwell, 2 for 3 on the day. Here's the pitch to Maxwell. He lifts a fly ball into center field. Pearsall racing forward for it, moving to his left, makes the play, and will go to the bottom of the 8th with Detroit 8, Boston 4. And we have a new pitcher. Ned Garber is now pitching for Detroit. And Garber with an ERA of 4 in 56 with 2 losses. And a 1.556 whip. In this replay, he's got a 4.5 with a loss and a 1.75 whip. So Pearsall licking his chops as he sees Garber come in. Here's the pitch to Pearsall as they need to get something going. Pearsall swings and hits it sharply into left field. Maxwell fields it. Pearsall safely on first with the leadoff single. And that'll bring Don Budden to the plate. Here's the pitch to Budden. Or should I bring a lefty in? No, I just think I'll keep him in. I don't think I have anybody come in and play short. Here's the pitch to Budden. Garber fields it, tosses to second, gets the lead runner. Budden safe at first, but not after the force out at second for 1 out, and that brings the Sammy The catcher, Sammy White, to the plate, who's 0 for 3 on the day. I think I will pinch hit for him. He's batting 152 in this replay. And I'm going to bring in Gene Stevens to pinch hit. Button on first. Steven comes in batting 270 and 56. Yet to get a hit in this replay as he's 0 for 3. Here's the pitch to Stevens. And he hits it sharply into right field, and he comes in and gets it done again. Another pitch hitter hit by the Boston Red Sox. That brings up Milt Bowling. Will swing away. Here's the pitch to Bowling. And he strikes him out for out number 2. And that brings up the left-handed hitting Billy Goodman. Can he move the runners forward? He's 1 for 4 on the day. Garber on the mound. Ned Garber. Here's the pitch from Garber. And he pops him up. Will it stay in play? It looks like it will. As he pops it up behind the plate. House off with the mask. And, oh, he misses it. Oh, it's a great play. What happened there? He juggles the ball and then makes the catch. No runs on 2 hits and no errors. And we go to the 9th. Detroit 8. Boston 4. And Reno Bertoa to the plate. Hurd still on the mound. Here's the pitch to Bertoa. I'm missing a catcher. I need to replace my catcher. That's right. I don't have a catcher. And just make good pitches. I don't think Stevens is going to be able to handle it. It's poor management on me. I don't have a catcher in the game. Stevens he catches that first strike for out number 1. That brings up Garber, the pitcher. And they're going to bring in Wayne Belardi to hit for the pitcher. Belardi comes in, batting 279 and 56, but 167 in this replay. Here's the pitch to Belardi. It's hit sharply into right field as it gets past Zouchin at first. So that's a 1-out single by the pinch hitting Belardi. We have a runner on and Tuttle back to the plate. Hurd goes into the windup. And it's hit into center field in front of Pearsall. And that's a double for Tuttle. And that's going to be all for Hurd. And Keeley will come into pitch, or is that Kiley? That is Leo Kiley coming in to pitch. He's not done well in this replay. Look at that replay number, 27 ERA. So I'm not feeling good about this. Like I said, the bullpen is not good. Here is the pitch. Torgenson pops it up. Third base side. Bowling racing over. Will it be in play? And he makes the play for out number 2, a much needed out. As Al Kaline comes to the plate. 0 for 4 on the day. He did walk. Here's the pitch to Kaline. And he walks Kaline to load the bases. As Harvey Kuhn, who has 4 hits on the day and has been just destroying the Boston Red Sox. Kuhn. Pitch from Kiley. And it's hit to Budden at short. fires it over to first. And whew, I know Keeley's probably saying, I am relieved I was able to get that. But we go to the bottom of the ninth with Detroit up 8-4 on the Boston Red Sox. And a new pitcher in Virgil Trucks. Had a 3.83 ERA in 56 with a 6-5 record with 1 save and a 1.392 WHIP with 43 strikeouts but 63 walks. So probably control issues as the pitcher is going to come out. He's not going to hit. As Ted Lepsio is going to pinch hit. Batting .500 in this replay. So can he continue it? He's 1 for 2. Here's the pitch from Trucks. And he will not. He strikes him out on the Parmesan pellet. That brings up Jackie Jensen. Top of the lineup as Trucks has 1 down. Here is the pitch from Trucks. It's a fly ball lifted into right field. Al Kaline settles underneath it for out number 2. 2 up and 2 down. And Dick Gernert, the last chance for the Red Sox to get something done here. Here is the pitch. And he walks Gernert. So he does get a runner on. Gernert with the good eye was high and outside. And a 2-out walk by Trucks. That brings up Norm Zouchin. Here's the pitch to Zouchin. And he walks Zouchin. Trucks, as we saw, his numbers 63 walks compared to 43 strikes. That is coming to fruition right here as Jimmy Pearsall steps to the plate. Pearsall with a swing of the bat can make this interesting. Here's the pitch to Pearsall. And he lifts it into right field. Kaline racing over toward the line and makes the play. And that is our game on the F9 put out by Al Kaline. And that's going to be a Detroit 8-4 win over the Boston Red Sox. Getting the win is Moss. Taking the loss is Sullivan. Players to recognize for the Tigers. Boone was 2 for 3 with a home run and 3 RBIs. Harvey Kuhn was 4 for 6. And Tuttle was 3 for 6 with a double. Gernert for Boston was 2 for 4 with a home run and two RBIs. It was a well-played game by Detroit and a sloppy game by the Red Sox. They had those 2 errors in the 4th that kind of turned the game around for the Tigers. Pitching for Detroit, Moss, who's now has a record of 1-0. He went 5 2/3. He allowed 7 hits, 4 runs, 3 of them earned, a home run, and faced how many batters? 26 batters. Then Aber come in, pitched 2 innings, struck out 1, didn't allow any runs across. Then Garber come in to pitch an inning, allowed 2 hits, but no runs. And then Trucks came in and closed out the side in the 9th. For Boston, Frank Sullivan pitched 5 innings. He allowed 8 hits, 6 runs, 5 of them earned. He allowed a home run. He walked 2 and struck out 2 and faced 26 batters. His estimated pitch count was 145. Sisler came in. I don't know what EPC means. He wouldn't have thrown 145 pitches in 5 innings, I wouldn't think. Sisler pitched 2 innings. He allowed a hit. No runs coming across with 1 walk. And faced 9 batters. Then in came Ballman. pitched a third of an inning. He allowed 2 hits, 2 runs, both earned. He walked 3 for an ugly 11.57 ERA. So the 6 batters he faced, he walked 3 and allowed 2 hits. So 5 of the 6 batters he faced got on base. And then Hurd came in and closed it out for Boston, pitching well. But Detroit 8, Boston 4, and that's the story of this game. So Boston now falls to 5-6. Well, nope, Boston falls to 5-7. They're now 3 games back in the AL as Washington sits on top of the 9-5 record. And now Detroit jumps up to 6-7, 2.5 games back in the season. So that's our game here from Boston, Fenway Park. And I hope you enjoyed it. Now I'm going to watch the weather and see what occurs. Hope you have a great evening. Soli Deo Glory.